Why does it feel like the moment you start trying to grow, everything around you starts falling apart? You give more but get less. You pray harder, yet the silence grows louder. You're trying to stay strong, but your strength is cracking. Deep down, you start wondering, is this life punishing me or is something bigger at play? This is the space where most people break. But it's also the space where transformation begins, because what you're going through isn't random. It's not chaos for the sake of pain. It's a divine pattern. Before God blesses you, he often tests you. And the test doesn't come in a way that's obvious. It comes in silence, in delays, in confusion. It shows up when you're doing everything right, yet nothing seems to work. That's when most hearts grow tired. That's when doubts whisper loudest. But it's also the exact moment God is doing his deepest work in you. When your life feels stuck, you're not being held back, you're being held together. Growth doesn't always look like movement. Sometimes it looks like stillness. And that stillness is painful because we've been conditioned to believe progress must always feel good. But the truth is, the greatest growth often happens in the dark, in the quiet, in the seasons where it feels like God isn't speaking at all. That's not absence. That's training. You're being sharpened, molded, and refined for something you can't see yet, but you will. Don't misread the season. Just because it feels slow doesn't mean it's stagnant. Just because the door hasn't opened doesn't mean it's locked. You're in the hallway of preparation, and yes, it's uncomfortable. But it's necessary. You can't carry the weight of a blessing if your foundation is still fragile. So God delays not to deny you, but to develop you. He knows what's ahead, and he's shaping you to handle it with strength, humility, and wisdom. So if you're watching this and feeling stuck, misunderstood, or forgotten, stay with me. You're not alone. This message is for the one who's been quietly enduring, who's been praying in tears, who's been fighting battles no one sees. You are not losing, you are being tested. And if you can hold on, if you can push through the silence, if you can stay faithful even when there's no applause, something powerful is being built inside you. That is why you must keep going, because what's coming will require everything this season is teaching you: the patience, the discipline, the trust, the strength. God is not ignoring your pain. He's using it to prepare your blessing. And the moment you truly understand that, everything changes. The pain doesn't disappear, but it becomes purposeful. The silence doesn't crush you, it steadies you. You are being tested not to break you, but to build you. And if you keep walking through this with faith, courage, and endurance, you won't just survive this season. You'll be ready for the blessing that follows it. Stay strong. You're closer than you think. When everything starts collapsing around you, it's hard not to question your worth. You try to stay grounded, but the foundation shakes. You try to stay positive, but the noise in your mind won't stop. The losses come one after another. People leave, doors close, peace disappears. It feels personal, it feels cruel. But what if it's not falling apart? What if it's falling into place? Destruction often feels like failure, but in truth, it's a deeper form of transformation. Before you can receive something new, the old has to be removed. That's why some blessings start with heartbreak. Some breakthroughs come dressed as breakdowns, because God doesn't always build on what's already standing. Sometimes he tears down everything you thought you needed so he can give you what you never imagined possible. The confusion, the chaos, the emptiness, it's not meant to destroy you. It's meant to strip you of what was never meant to stay. This is the test of endurance. Will you trust when there's nothing left to hold on to? Will you believe when nothing around you makes sense? Because the test isn't just about pain, it's about purification. It's about pulling you away from false comfort, from shallow approval, from everything temporary, so your eyes can finally fix on what's eternal. It hurts. It feels like loss. But in reality, it's sacred construction. God is clearing the space for a blessing that won't be delayed by the weight of what you were never meant to carry. Pain has a purpose. And sometimes that purpose is to push you back to the core of who you really are. The world teaches you to keep everything together, to never show weakness, to fight for control. But sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is let go. Let go of needing every answer. Let go of trying to fix what's not yours to fix. Let go of the illusion that you have to carry it all alone. That release is where your strength is reborn. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. The job that didn't work out, the person who walked away, the plan that crumbled, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. And in that redirection, something deep is awakened inside you, a stronger version of you, a braver version, a wiser version, the version that's been buried under comfort, distraction, and fear. This season might feel like a collapse, but what if it's really a clearing? What if everything being removed is actually saving you from settling for less than what you were created for? This is how blessings begin, not in applause, but in ashes, or not in clarity, but in chaos. And if you can hold on when nothing makes sense, if you can find faith in the rubble, you won't just be changed, you'll be transformed. The pain you feel now is not the end, it's the beginning. Something is being rebuilt in you. And when it's finished, you won't recognize the version of you that almost gave up. Keep going. You're being prepared for something powerful. There is a quiet battle that rages inside when you feel utterly alone. No one understands the weight you carry, the invisible wounds that sting deep in silence. You reach out, but the world's noise drowns your voice. It's in this isolation that the heart breaks hardest. But this loneliness is not punishment. It is a sacred test. When God pulls away the crowds and strips away distractions, he is not abandoning you. He is preparing you to discover a strength that no one else can give. Being alone in your struggle is a call to find something greater than human approval. It forces you to stop relying on the echoes of others and start hearing the whisper within. When everyone else walks away, your true faith is revealed, not in what you believe when life is easy, but in what you hold on to when there is nothing but silence. This solitude pushes you to wrestle with your fears, your doubts, and your insecurities until you are no longer dependent on comfort outside yourself. The mind resists isolation because it is designed for connection. Feeling misunderstood can trigger pain so sharp it tempts you to give up. But this pain also acts like a forge, melting away false identities shaped by others' opinions. It frees you to become who you really are beneath the surface. In this stripped-down state, you can finally confront the truth of your purpose. You are forced to dig deep, to reach inward for hope, and to learn that your value is not tied to anyone's understanding or approval. Loneliness refines your character. It tests your ability to be still, to be present with discomfort instead of running from it. It demands courage to stand firm in the emptiness, to continue trusting when the path ahead is unclear. Every moment you choose faith over fear, hope over despair, you are passing a test far greater than any external challenge. This is the shaping of a soul that will carry a blessing unlike any other. Being misunderstood does not mean you are unworthy. It means you are on a journey few can see or comprehend. When others do not understand your struggle or your silence, it often means you are being set apart for something extraordinary. The isolation you endure now is the womb where your transformation takes place. Though it feels lonely, you are being held in a sacred space designed to prepare you for a destiny that requires resilience, wisdom, and unwavering faith. The truth is, no one can do this part of the journey for you. It's a personal test of endurance, self-trust, and surrender. The absence of comfort is an invitation to build an unshakable foundation, one that will hold when storms come. Embrace this solitude not as a curse, but as a hidden blessing. Because when you learn to stand alone and remain faithful, you become unstoppable. So if you feel alone and misunderstood, do not despair. You are being tested in the deepest way possible. Your loneliness is not a void. It is a proving ground. And when you come through this, you will emerge not only stronger, but transformed, ready to receive the blessing that only the tested can truly handle. Keep holding on. Your breakthrough is growing quietly inside the silence. There comes a point when the choices you face feel impossible. The paths ahead are clouded with fear, uncertainty, and sacrifice. You stand at a crossroads, torn between what feels safe and what calls you forward. This is not weakness. It is the heart of every test, because faith is not faith until it demands surrender. Trust is not trust until it requires sacrifice, and courage is not courage until it faces the unknown, ready to step forward without a clear view of what lies ahead. Every difficult choice is a question: will you stay in comfort or embrace growth? Will you cling to what you know or reach for what you cannot yet see? When God tests you through these moments, It is not to punish you for doubting or to reward you for certainty. It is to show you who you truly are beneath fear and indecision. Your willingness to choose the harder path reveals your readiness for what is coming. Sacrifice is never easy. It asks for more than you feel you can give. It strips away illusions of control and invites you to trust in something greater than your understanding. But this trust grows only when you let go of the need for guarantees. The real test is not in making the right choice. It is in choosing to move forward at all, to walk by faith, not by sight, to surrender your fears and step into the unknown with a heart wide open. This inner struggle between fear and faith is the crucible where your character is forged. When you choose faith, you activate a power inside you that fear cannot touch. You tap into a deep reservoir of resilience and hope that sustains you when the road is hardest. Every sacrifice you make, every uncertain step you take, builds momentum for the blessing that awaits you. Remember, the sacrifices demanded in this season are not meant to weaken you. They are meant to prepare you for a blessing so big it requires a new level of strength and vision. The harder the choice, the higher the calling. Every door closed, every comfort given up, every risk taken is a sign that you are being shaped for something beyond what you can imagine. It's natural to want certainty, to want clear signs and easy answers. But the test is about trust, not proof. It's about learning to walk confidently in the dark, knowing that light is coming. The sacrifices you endure now are planting seeds of faith that will bloom into blessings you have only dared to dream of. So when you face impossible choices and feel the weight of sacrifice, don't retreat. Stand firm. Embrace the tension between fear and faith as the battlefield where your transformation is won. This is not the time to shrink back, but to rise up with courage, because every step you take through this test brings you closer to the breakthrough waiting just beyond the struggle. Keep your heart open and your spirit strong. What you sacrifice today becomes the foundation of your greatest victory tomorrow. You are not alone. You are being tested because you are being prepared. The blessing you seek requires the courage you are growing right now. Walk forward with faith. Your moment is near. There is a moment when waiting feels endless, when the clock ticks slower and your patience thins like fragile glass. Every delay feels like a door slammed shut. Every unanswered prayer a confirmation that maybe the blessing will never come. This waiting tests your faith in the most profound way. It strips you of control, challenges your trust, and forces you to wrestle with hope and doubt. But waiting is not weakness. It is the silent strength of the soul being forged in the fire of perseverance. Psychology teaches us that patience is not passive. It's an active stance, an act of courage that rewires your mind and heart. When you wait without giving up, you send a powerful message to yourself and to the universe. You believe the best is worth the struggle. Waiting becomes a test of endurance, not of fate. It demands that you hold on to vision even when the evidence says otherwise. This is the space where hope grows roots deeper than fear. Delays often feel like punishment, but they are part of the preparation. When blessings come too early, they can be fragile, fleeting, and unearned. The waiting period is a sacred time of growth, where your character is refined and your resolve strengthened. This is where impatience must be transformed into faith, frustration into surrender, and anxiety into peace. Every moment spent waiting is an investment in your readiness to receive what's coming. When you find yourself on the edge of giving up, remember that breakthroughs are often closest in moments of greatest resistance. The mind and body are wired to test limits, but the spirit is designed to overcome them. That tension you feel, the push and pull between despair and hope, is evidence that transformation is happening beneath the surface. The waiting is reshaping your beliefs, aligning your purpose, and preparing you to embrace a blessing worthy of your journey. Small signs may begin to appear, subtle whispers that hint at the coming change, a fleeting moment of clarity, an unexpected door opening, a quiet reassurance inside your heart. These confirmations are God's way of strengthening you, reminding you that the wait is not in vain. They test your awareness, your ability to notice and trust what is not yet fully visible. Recognizing these signs requires mindfulness and a spirit willing to believe beyond the obvious. Endurance through waiting is the ultimate test of faith. because it demands trust without certainty. It requires embracing the unknown with courage and patience. This is the soil where resilience grows and where the seeds of blessing take root. Your ability to stay faithful in waiting will shape not only what you receive, but who you become when it arrives. So if you feel the weight of waiting crushing your spirit, remember, this is not a punishment or a delay in blessing. It is the blessing in itself, the process that prepares you to handle your breakthrough with grace and strength. The season of waiting is where faith becomes action, where belief is transformed into endurance, and where the soul's deepest power is revealed. Hold on, stand firm. The blessing is not just ahead, it is being built within you, quietly and powerfully, during every moment you choose to wait with faith. There is a subtle force working beneath the surface of your struggle, one that nudges you toward awareness, even when everything feels uncertain. Strange confirmations, unexpected signs, small moments of clarity that catch you off guard. These are not coincidences. They are the quiet signals that your journey is shifting. Your mind, heart, and spirit begin to tune into a new frequency, one that aligns with the blessing approaching you. This awakening tests your ability to recognize hope in the shadows, to trust what you cannot yet fully grasp. In times of deep challenge, your senses heighten. You start noticing patterns and meanings where before there was only confusion. This heightened awareness is part of the test. It demands that you stay alert and open, not closing off to possibilities simply because the path isn't clear. The universe communicates not always in loud declarations, but often in whispers, small signs that require patience, faith, and attentiveness to catch. Your willingness to see these subtle messages strengthens your connection to the greater plan unfolding in your life. Psychologically, this phase rewires your brain. When you consciously look for signs of progress, your mind creates pathways of hope and optimism that counterbalance despair and fatigue. This rewiring is essential because it builds resilience, your mental and emotional muscles, needed to carry you through the final stretch of testing. Each small confirmation you perceive acts as a fuel boost, reigniting your belief in the unseen and encouraging you to keep pressing forward, even when the outcome remains uncertain. These moments of strange clarity are like threads weaving a new tapestry of faith inside you. They challenge your tendency to focus only on obstacles and redirect your attention to what is being constructed quietly in the background. You begin to understand the transformation isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's a gentle unfolding, a series of small awakenings that prepare you for something greater than you imagined. The ability to recognize these moments is itself a sign of growth, a sign that you are becoming who you need to be to receive what awaits. Your challenge now is to remain open and trusting, even when evidence seems scarce. The test deepens because it requires patience paired with vigilance. It asks you to balance surrender with awareness, letting go of control while staying tuned to the subtle movements around you. This balance builds a new kind of strength, one grounded in faith, insight, and steady hope. It prepares you to step confidently into your breakthrough when the time is right. So if you notice these strange signs, small confirmations that seem to come from nowhere, do not dismiss them. Lean into them. Let them remind you that the test is nearing its end and the blessing is drawing close. These are the whispers of progress, the footprints of transformation, and the gentle hands guiding you toward your destiny. Hold fast to your awareness. Nurture your faith. The invisible is becoming visible. The blessing you long for is emerging quietly, reshaping your life in ways only the tested can understand. Your moment is not far. You are being prepared with care, precision, and purpose for everything that lies ahead. Testing is not random. It is purposeful. Every challenge you face, every moment of doubt and struggle, is tailored to shape you for the blessing that lies ahead. The pressures you feel are not designed to break you, but to build you. When you are tested, it means you have been chosen for something greater than you realize. It means you are being prepared to carry a responsibility, a gift, or a calling that requires strength, wisdom, and perseverance beyond the ordinary. There is a profound truth in knowing that struggle is not the absence of blessing, but often its very foundation. Your trials are not punishments, but proofs. Proof that you are capable of enduring, capable of growing, capable of stepping into your destiny. The pain and pressure you experience refine your character like fire refines gold. They burn away impurities, false hopes, and distractions, leaving behind the essence of who you are meant to be. Psychology confirms that transformation requires tension. Without challenge, the mind and spirit remain stagnant. It is under pressure that new neural pathways form, creating resilience and adaptability. Your brain is literally being rewired through your endurance. This rewiring equips you to handle greater levels of success, responsibility, and fulfillment. The test stretches you because what awaits demands more than you have now. It demands the best version of you. You may wonder why the process feels so hard, why the waiting feels so long, and why the signs are sometimes so subtle. This is because blessing is not just about receiving, it's about becoming. The person you are now is not yet ready for what is coming. The tests ensure that when blessing arrives, you will meet it not as someone desperate or broken, but as someone whole, grounded, and ready to embrace it fully. This preparation happens in layers. Each test builds on the last, weaving together patience, trust, sacrifice, awareness, and endurance. Together, these qualities form the foundation of a life that can sustain not just success, but significance. Blessing without preparation can lead to emptiness or failure. Preparation without blessing is incomplete. The two must come together for true transformation to occur. Remember, being tested is a sign of divine investment in your future. It means you matter. It means you are not overlooked or forgotten. The very fact that you are still standing, still fighting, still believing is proof that you are being formed into something remarkable. Your scars, your struggles, your moments of doubt, they are the marks of a life being shaped for greatness. So embrace your testing with courage and gratitude. See it as a sacred season that is crafting your spirit, sharpening your vision, and building your capacity to receive all that you desire. The blessing is coming not just as a reward, but as a natural outgrowth of the transformation you are undergoing. You are not being buried, you are being planted, and the harvest you will reap will be richer than you ever imagined. Stand firm in this truth. Your testing is not the end. It is the beginning of something powerful, extraordinary, and deeply beautiful. Hold fast, for the blessing you seek is already on its way.